presents to you Honest Talk.
Hello folks, we are so glad to announce that today Dr. Santosh Fulfagar is going to join us. Dr. Santosh is the head of the HR Corporate Functions and Learning and Development of CGPISL, Crompton Greaves Power and Industrial Solution Limited. Dr. Santosh is a seasoned HR professional with 18+ years of industry experience in diverse sectors of the economy. He worked with PSUs like Air India Limited, largest conglomerate like RIL, the startup like Flarum Solar Technologies Limited and manufacturing setup like CGPISL. He is certified to deliver sessions on topics like 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, MBTI, Thomas Profiling, etc. He has completed brain-based coaching certification from Neuro Leadership Institute, NLI, and has been practicing executive coaching for last 2 years. He has studied from premier institutes like VA, VJTI Mumbai, IIT Delhi, IIM Ahmedabad and NITIE Mumbai. His areas of interest include executive coaching, strategic management, leadership development and organization culture building. His doctorate thesis was on the topic of strategic decision making in the power sector of India. So let's begin our talk with Dr. Santosh Fulfagar.
So sir, first of all, thank you so much for joining and agreeing to share your thoughts with us. We are extremely very happy to have you for today's session.
My pleasure. Same here, Harsh. Thank you much for invitation.
Thank you so much, sir. So sir, moving to the topic of today's session, which we have chosen is organization performance through employee engagement. So sir, as you have worked so many companies and you have so much experience in this field. So sir, I would like to put my first question from here, which is, sir, what do you think how organization performance can be improved through employee engagement? So please give it about it so we can understand in better way.
Yeah, Harsh, I think very relevant and important question at this stage of COVID. So as you know, organization performance can be measured through financial and non-financial parameters. Whether it's a financial parameters like, whether the sales is going up or not, whether the profitability is going up or not. There are various financial parameters like, capital, return on the capital employed or the return on the working capital. So there are various financial parameters and there are a lot of non-financial parameters also like market share, your efficiency parameter in terms of the capacity utilization, productivity. So there are various parameters. And when you look at all these organization performance related parameters and you dissect them, you take anything like sales going up, profitability going up, quality improving, customer satisfaction improving, you dissect it. And what you will see that the reason which is contributing to the organization performance is all about the employees, and it is all about the employees' capability, which is actually their competence, the skill part, and the second is their willingness to actually put extra effort. And what is the employee engagement? Employee engagement, there are various definitions. One of the definition talks about maybe how much employees are engaged in order to put the discretionary effort. Are they willing to put extra effort to actually drive organization performance? My definition of employee engagement is how far employees engage or excited to come to work. Let's say there are X number of working days, and out of X, if 80% of the working days employees is excited to come to work, so I say maybe that employee is 80% engaged with the organization, and if he is engaged 100%, then all the days he or she should be excited to come to work. And if the employee is excited to come to work, employee will be happy to deliver the whatever is expected from him or her, because ultimately it is all 1 + 1 + 1 means everything comes together as a jigsaw puzzle and you get the output in terms of the sales, production, quality. And so therefore each and every employee's engagement is very crucial to drive the organization performance. It is said that if the employees are engaged, they will be happy, they'll be motivated. And if the employees are happy, motivated, they will ensure that they are also making our customers, our stakeholders happy and engaged. And as a result, you will see that the customers are actually willing to come back. And when I'm saying that, you are actually talking to your customers, suppliers or other stakeholders in a engaged way, it doesn't mean that you are actually giving away. For example, customer will always look for discounts. Suppliers will also look for getting a better price. Bankers will say, I need a better interest rate. So various stakeholders are there. They will be expecting something from the organization. So I'm not saying that when employees are engaged, they will actually give up on this parameter. But what I'm saying is that they will be engaged in such a way that they are able to convince our stakeholders, whether they are customers, suppliers, bankers, shareholders, anybody, to actually partner with the organization at the right price. So this is how I believe that organization performance can be enhanced by enhancing the employee engagement. Because and there is a research also shows that the employee engagement actually can make a difference of 5 to 20% improvement in the overall organization performance.
All right, sir. You have covered
Yes, sir.
you have covered so many things. I think it will be fruitful for our viewers, those who are watching this session. So, sir, one question which I would like to raise it here is, sir, what do you believe over it? What are the basic general duties of employers and employees towards each other?
Yeah, I believe employer and employees, they have a very good relationship. It is basically a marriage between two parties, and they need to actually work together as a win-win. Both of them have to work together as a win-win to achieve certain outcome. I believe the duty of any employer is to, first of all, efficiently allocate the capital available with them. It is all about the money, resources which are available with them, and actually allocate them into various businesses, various initiatives that organization is running. Second, employer's duty is also about preparing short-term and the long-term plan for the organization, where they want to actually invest in terms of the products, markets, so that they need to identify and clearly identify what is expected from the employees to achieve the goals with respect to the products, markets, or any other parameter which can lead to better sales, better profitability, better customer satisfaction, better quality. So you take any parameters, ultimately employer is expected to satisfy external as well as internal stakeholders. So with respect to the employees, what I believe that the employers have to set a clear expectation, what is expected from the employees. Second, they need to provide right tools and techniques to the employees. You can't expect output from employees when you're not giving them the right softwares, right products, right tools. So I think one of the responsibility of employer is also to provide the right tools to the employees. And the third thing is you need to have a proper benefits and reward mechanism for the employees. You can't actually exploit the employees to a certain extent where the attrition rate is very high. At the same time, you can't actually pay too much to the employees where your profitability actually is at stake. So you need to strike a balance as the employer. You need to ensure that you pay the right amount to the right people at the right place. So these are some of the responsibilities of the employer. And I think when it comes to the employees, I think as an employee, one has to first understand why their work exists in the organization, how their work is aligned with the goals and objectives of the organization. And if they have clarity about how their individual role is aligned with the organization goals and objective, they will be more engaged and motivated to give their best. Second responsibility of employees is to understand the rules and regulations of any organization. Every organization has certain rules or procedures, and employees need to understand what are the rules and regulations of this company with respect to integrity, ethics, and accordingly adhere to those guidelines. The third thing that I believe is understanding what are the expectations of the leader, understanding what are the expectations of their own colleagues, what are the expectations from other stakeholders, and give their best to actually they exceed those expectations. These are some of the things that I believe employees actually need to do.
All right, sir. Again, you have given a very wonderful answer. So, sir, one question which I would like to put it here is, sir, what you believe and what would you like to comment on how to communicate with the employees regarding the expectations and personal accountability?
I believe expectation actually is a very good exercise for employees as well as the employer. So there could be actually top-down approach or bottom-up approach for actually preparing the organization goals and objectives. So I believe, one is you need to get a data at an organization level, and organization goals and objectives have to be clarified in terms of how much actually growth in revenue is expected by the organization. Second, once level goals are actually set, those organization level goals have to be cascaded down to the next level. So in case of manufacturing organization, one needs to clearly cascade saying that this is what the organization expects in terms of the sales growth, in terms of the profitability growth. If there are units for the business, needs to contribute how much to that overall organization goals. So once that is done at the unit level, the second thing is you need to decide at the next level. So once the unit level it is decided, then you can talk about what is that production head has to do, what is that the operation head has to do, what is the supply chain head has to do, finance head has to do, HR head has to do, IT head has to do. So there are various functions within every manufacturing unit. So their responsibility also needs to be defined. So what I'm trying to say is there is something called strategy map. So once the organization goals are set, you need to actually cascade them down to the individual businesses, individual units, then individual department heads, and within the department heads, then you need to cascade it down to the individual employee level. And once it is done, then actually there are various ways of communicating the expectation to the employees. One could be actually having a proper performance management system where the manager and employee, they discuss with each other the expectations of the organization, and as a result cascading down effect to their own team as an employee, as a manager. So both of them can discuss, actually put the goals in. Then there are other ways actually, you can also do offsite where actually, the CEOs or the MD of the organization or the unit head, they come together and they share for next 1 year, this is the goal that we have taken as an organization, as a unit. And as a result, each of the next level needs to do ABCD, because as an organization, there are a lot of interdependency. You can't just say that this is the goal for production and there is no linkage with the other people, because the supply chain will have to support, finance team will have to support the production, HR will have to support the production. So there are interdependencies. So what organization has to do is identify the goals for each of the employees and also how there is an interdependency. The whole purpose of this is to maximize the resource utilization and the minimization of the working capital requirement for your organization to work. So there are, as I said, there are multiple ways of communicating. It could be offsite where the top leaders come and share with the next level of employees and next level of employees, and then actually it's actually into performance management system either through a system, Excel. There are multiple ways of managing the performance management, but there has to be clear expectation laid out to the employees and their managers in relation with the organization goals and objectives.
All right, sir. Sir, my next question to you is, sir, what can be the ways, means how to monitor and evaluate the job performance of the employees?
Yeah, I think this is a very, very important thing, because I think that is where a lot of time I think things actually go wrong. Because you can set the goal, you can tell employees, this is what I expect from you. But I think it is very, very important that managers, the leaders actually monitor and evaluate the performance of employees on regular basis. My suggestion is, even though there is an annual performance appraisal, to ensure that performance is evaluated on quarterly and monthly basis, and if there are any critical activities where continuous feedback and monitoring is required, the manager, the leader, they need to sit with the employees and continuously actually provide coaching to the employees in terms of what is working and what is not working for the organization. At the same time, understand the difficulties that employees are facing in terms of, it could be raw material supply, it could be the working capital availability, it could be the market dynamics, it could be the dynamics with respect to the suppliers, or bankers, anything which is happening and that employees are aware, employees need to share the dynamics which is happening in the market, outside the organization with the leaders, need to share things are actually going vis-a-vis the expectation of the top management. And so therefore it is what I believe is the monitoring and evaluating of performance is a continuous process. It should not be done only on a monthly or a quarterly or annual basis as a ritual. It has to be a continuous process. And if you can put it into the system, that will be the fantastic thing. In the system, if you can put on continuous basis what an employee is doing vis-a-vis the expectation, and if the manager can give feedback by having a discussion with the employee, it will be a fabulous thing to do. So I think one of the best way for any organization to improve performance is set the expectation very clearly, build the clarity about what is expected from the management. Second, provide the right resources and the tools to the employees to perform their best. And third thing is motivate, engage employees to give his or her best. And if there are any difficulties, provide support to the employees.
All right, sir. So you have mentioned the motivation is the most important thing for the employees. So, sir, my next question is related to with it only. The question is, sir, what can be the best possible ways to motivate and boost employees' productivity?
See, there are multiple theories of motivation. I'm sure you must have heard about the Maslow's hierarchy, that everybody is looking for some basic safety, and then there are the various levels actually, esteem and the self-actualization. There are various levels, and there are a lot of people who have also done research on this. What I believe that based on various research, for any employee to get motivated or to provide highest productivity for the organization, there are three things which are very, very important. First is work itself. As an organization, if employees find that the work is interesting, if the work is actually, and if they are able to see that work is aligned, how it is aligned with the organization goals and objective. There is a story also, I'm not sure whether you heard it or not. It is said that, when the Taj Mahal was getting built, one could have asked the workers, what are you doing? One can say, I am just laying brick over brick. So I am doing a work of laying the brick over brick. And there could be another person to whom if you ask, what are you doing? He could have said that I am putting brick over a brick to construct a structure which will last for 1,000 years. So both of them are doing the same work, but the way they look at the work determines their motivation and engagement. If you are able to see that you are actually doing something which is actually contributing to a bigger purpose, a bigger idea, then your engagement, your motivation, productivity will be very high. So work itself is a motivator if you actually can align it with the organization goals and objective. Second, I believe it is your manager, it is your leader who can motivate and improve your productivity. If your managers are able to give you the right resources, right tools, then you can see that you are motivated, your productivity is enhanced. It is the responsibility of the managers or the organization to provide the learning opportunities. Employee may be motivated, but if he or she is not competent enough, then it is important that organization identifies the challenges with respect to the delivery and provide the right learning opportunities to the employees. That will ensure that the competence and the commitment part of the employees is taken care. So I think the leader or the manager also has an important role to play while enhancing the motivation and productivity of employee. And the third thing is the colleagues with whom these employees work. If the colleagues are also actually motivated, they are also contributing, they are also willing to put extra effort, you will see that this employee will also get motivation from his or her own colleagues. So in short, there are three important things actually. It is the work itself. If the work is interesting and if the work can be actually aligned with the long-term goals and objective of the organization, if the employee is able to see the bigger purpose in what he or she is doing, and if the employee sees that the manager leader actually demonstrates respect to this employee, provides the right tools, techniques, learning to the employee. And the third thing is, if the employee sees that I have a good colleagues, I have a good team for working. These three things will contribute to the higher motivation and the productivity for individual employee.
All right, sir. All these three ways you have told us, I think it will be much fruitful for our viewers, and I think we all need to learn from it. So, sir, as this means, I don't want to waste you much time, sir. I would like to put it here. My last question, which is, sir, as this time is really a tough time, and people are losing job. Also, the organization are feeling this is a difficult time. So, sir, what advice would you like to give to the organizations and also to the employees?
I believe, there are two things the way we can look at any situation. One is, you can always, identify what are the problems and how they are actually, causing the heartburn for everybody. The other thing, the way you look at a problem is, look at the solution. What can be done? Look at the solution. Okay, there are challenges. COVID is there. Maybe the supply chain is a problem. Maybe, fixed cost is a problem. But at the same time, we have to understand that this is not a regular phenomena. It has like a shock. We should not actually, react. We should actually respond to this situation that has been created by COVID. And I personally believe that, organizations need to take care of the employees. Organizations have to look at the solution. Okay, now if we are not able to produce, what can be done? Can we look at, investing in new products? Can we look at, looking at new markets? Can we look at something new where we can actually utilize the services of employees? And actually, I believe laying off employees should be the last option that organization should exercise. There are many other options. One could be actually, maybe organization can decide that, across the board, some reduction in the salary, maybe some deferment in salary. So there are ways of actually, taking care of everybody. I'm not saying that, organization cannot, overlook this problem of cash, because this is the issue. If the business is not happening, you will not be able to get revenue, you will not be able to get cash, and you need to pay salary to your employees. There will be fixed costs in terms of paying electricity bill, depreciation of your units. So there are going to be certain fixed costs for every organization. So what is important at this stage for any organization is to utilize the cash appropriately, allocate the cash efficiently to the various projects that organization is currently doing. And if certain things are not happening in this stage of COVID, identify what can be done at this stage which can help the organization to get the best benefit post-COVID. I think this is for the organization. And for the employees, I believe, there are two things that employees need to keep in mind. One is, I think, the mental strength. This is a time where I think all of us need to have a strong mental strength. In fact, it is said that COVID also is related to the psychological issue. If the employee is strong, because some of the people I heard, they were actually, the moment they got to hear that they got a COVID, their willpower actually did not support them to actually survive. Even though our survival rate in this country is very high, I believe it can actually be further enhanced if we can actually improve the mental strength of each and every employee of the organization. So first thing that employees need to do is to build a strong mental strength. And to build a strong mental strength, there are multiple ways that they can do. One is, you can do a meditation, you can do breathing exercise. It will help you to get a excellent mental strength. And second thing that employees need to do is, obviously they need to manage their finances. If the organization decides to reduce your salary or, defer your salary, or in some cases, if the jobs are getting lost, you can't actually say that, my job is lost and I cannot, eat food. I cannot actually pay fees of my child's education. You have to do certain expenses for you to actually survive. So what is important is utilize your finances in a very, very best allocated manner, so that all the expenses are taken care for a sustainable longer period. Because COVID may be there for 3 months, 6 months, we don't know for how long it will be there. And there will be a challenge for the organization to pay salary for X number of years or X number of months. So I believe employees need to work on both fronts. One is on building their mental strength, and second is financial planning for themselves and their families.
all right, sir. You made all the 3 points are very good. The first is that we all need to become first solution oriented, and the other is first also we need to same side by side need to care about our mental health, and the third, of course, we all need to manage our finances. Sir, thank you so much, sir, for giving your important time. It was really a great session with you. Thank you so much, sir, for joining. We look forward to conduct more and more sessions with you. I also learned so much from you. Thank you so much, sir, for giving your time.
Thank you, Harsh. Thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure interacting with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.